It's Match Report with your host, Clive Hamstring.
Hello there, and welcome to Match Report. I'm Clive Hamstring, and on this week's Fixture Focus, we have a very special match for you. That's right, it's the Season 1 Club World Cup Final. It was played out at Stotting Lane, and here shortly, we'll head out there to show you some highlights from that match, which saw South American side, Newell's Old Boys, taking on the Italian perennial favorite, Juventus. But before we head out for the highlights, let's take a look back at the tournament as a whole. The tournament involved 6 teams, the champions of their 6 leagues throughout the world. And the champion of each of those leagues were placed into the tournament into 2 groups, 2 3-team groups. So Group A was Newell's Old Boys, representing the South American League. French side, Nantes, representing the Mediterranean League. And England's own Arsenal. That's right, the Gunners, the Season 1 EPL champions. From Scotland, we had Hearts, Slavia Prague, champions of the Northern European League, and finally Juventus, the Serie A champions of Italy. After group play was done, it was Newell's Old Boys who came out on top in Group A, and Juventus came out on top in Group B. So the final would see Newell's Old Boys taking on Juventus. So now let's head out to the grounds, out to Stotting Lane, for highlights of the big match. It was a beautiful day at Stotting Lane as South American side, Newell's Old Boys took on Juventus for the Club World Championship. Capacity crowd at Stotting Lane. There we see some of the Juventus supporters. They're in loud voice today. Here's the team lineups. South American side, Newell's Old Boys. They were the champions of the South American League this season, and got there with not a lot of effort, it must be said. There's the refereeing squad on hand, and there's Italian Serie A champions, Juventus, hoping to add another piece of silverware to their collection here today. In the first half, it was Juventus getting off the mark first. Serbian striker, Dusan Vlahovic, finding the mark in the first half. There he is celebrating in front of the Juve fans. So Juventus took the lead at 1-0. Short time later, it was Moise Kean for Juventus, notching a second goal. So the halftime scoreline saw Juventus 2, Newell's Old Boys 0. The Juve crowd at halftime had plenty of reason to celebrate. Second half action. It was Vlahovic again, the Serbian striker, notching his second goal giving Juventus a handy 3-0 lead over Newell's Old Boys. Juventus having very little trouble finding the goal. Finally, later in the second half, it was Vlahovic again, gaining the hat trick, bringing home the victory. Scoreline, Juventus 4, Newell's Old Boys 0. And there's the trophy presentation, well deserved by Juventus, Serie A champions, and now the Club World Cup champions. And so there you have it. Juventus bring home the Season 1 Club World Cup in rather convincing action, if I do say so myself. 4-0 over Newell's Old Boys. Have to say, Juve really stamped an exclamation point on the end of that victory. So, until next time on Match Report, this is Clive Hamstring, signing off.